That picture right there is Harry Maguire, Captain Harry Maguire doing the Black Lives Matter pose after netting an own goal in the match versus Sevilla at Old Trafford. Oh, Captain Harry Maguire, he has done it again. Economic Maguire has done it again. I'd like to welcome you to the Football Power Hour. This is the show where we do a match review. We review every player's performance and give him a performance grade and a little performance remark, to just say how we feel about how they did in the game and the position that they played. And we usually just focus on the starters unless there's a serious honorable mention that needs to be done. Like in this moment where we have to honorably mention Captain Harry Maguire, who scored an unfortunate own goal. I do not want to blame him, honestly, solely him, because it was own goal galore. Oh, I welcome you to the Football Power Hour, by the way. I hope I said my name is botswanapapi. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Let's go ahead and review the disaster at Old Trafford today. Oh, okay. All right. Here's the thing. I put the title saying Ten Hag subs to blame? ? Because, as I said, it was own goal galore, right? Such a tongue twister. Own goal galore. But Malacia's own goal, for me, is the one that we can't forgive. Malacia's own goal, for me, is the one that has more blood in it, because here's the thing. Malacia, 2 mistakes in one. Malacia, when I looked it over a few minutes ago, I noticed he's the one who is not holding the defensive line, first of all, keeping Jesus Navas on side. And then secondly, the ball ricochets to you. Now, the ricochet there's not so much you can do about that, because, as a matter of fact, it's a weird chance where it's a double ricochet. That moment, that sequence does not happen again in a long time. The odds of that happening are very, very slim. Again, in that way. So anyway, ricochets aside, you still have to make sure that you're ready for that cross when Jesus Navas unleashes, that you hit it in a way that you're blocking it and you're not passively attacking it. And Malacia was not ready. He had a lapse of concentration that was unfortunately too costly. Now, here's the thing. I've played fullback before, and that position is very tricky because you have to make sure you're on it every single time. It's not just about how you're involved in the game. It's how your teammates' positioning is so important. Your awareness of your teammates' positioning is so much more important. And then also making sure that you're mentally in tune with what to do, with how to fix up a mistake, So anyway, Malacia, he had a moment of learning today. And I just want to just say his own goal has, as much as everybody likes to put hate on Maguire, economic Maguire, as we call him. Matter of fact, I showed the clip here earlier on. I hope Ten Hag has seen this clip before. Please, Ten Hag, look at it, man. Everybody knows about economic Maguire. If you haven't, Ten Hag, please look at it. Somebody please share it with eriktenhag, because it's become too much of a laughing stock now. The confidence of the team just dips when Maguire comes in. You can just feel it. It's not just on the fan base. It's with the teammates as well. And it's just one of them things where Ten Hag has to know that it's about time we ship this guy, get rid of him. There's no space for Maguire and Man United if we ever want to progress and move forward. So that is why I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, Maguire, you brought this on yourself. Maguire, do I have that congratulations you played yourself video? I need to have that right now, because Maguire played himself. Why I say that? Maguire had the guts to say a few days ago, every time I play for Man United, I play well. I don't know why people complain, blah, blah, blah. Maguire, congratulations, you played yourself. DJ Khaled says that. I have to find that clip and download it, because this one is definitely especially for Maguire. But anyway, let's go ahead and do the quick grade for every single player, because we do that with every match review to be more specific and be like, this is how every player did. And we're going to start with David De Gea. Now, David De Gea, let's be honest, David De Gea did not have a lot to do. David De Gea, also with the goals that he conceded, he cannot really do much about that. It is not his fault, David De Gea. That ball ricochets. Matter of fact, when Maguire, concedes that, it's like there's not much he can do. And I dislike the guy, but David De Gea, your reflexes are not expected to save that. So not much to do, not at fault for the goals, not at fault. So he has to get a B plus. He has to get a B plus for me. Let me know if you differ. All right, B plus. Now Malacia, the rotten egg of today, Malacia. I know you've had very good performances and some okay performances. That time, that stinker performance where you and Jadon Sancho in the Europa League, I believe it was earlier on in the group stages, you had a stinker of a performance. Guess what? Today, Malacia, you and Maguire. Today, Malacia, it was a stink. I'm going to give you a D, my friend. Yeah, I love you. You're a very good player and you have a lot of potential and you're going to go far. But that one was a straight up D. Now, Malacia, reason why you get the D is because, you were so good, actually. Besides that moment of lapse of concentration, you were so good. And you had moments where you were shining. There was no proper offensive output, not enough offensive output, but you let Jesus get by, but so it has to be a D. It was a solid C plus B minus situation, and now that moment that changed the game and gave Sevilla the lifeline, it made it even fall down to a D. It's supposed to be a D plus, but I feel like a D plus is an insult. It's just a solid D. Now Martinez played with two different center backs, and there was nothing wrong that Martinez did. Martinez played well, maestro. Played well, maestro. So I hope he gets well soon, because we need Martinez. The importance of Martinez in this team is understated, because Martinez, he's one of those. Liam says, mate, you can't blame Maguire for tonight. He was decent. No, I said it was own goal galore. Liam, I haven't even given Maguire a grade yet, but I did give him the benefit of the doubt by saying that Malacia's own goal is the own goal with blood. It's the real own goal that cost us, and it's the own goal that could have been avoided. Maguire really, he just needs to go. He's a captain that is not influential. But I do not blame him for tonight. I do not blame him. He was decent. He even had a moment where he did a dummy and got rid of two Sevilla players. So I got to say, I applaud you, Harry Maguire. So let's go ahead and talk about Varane, because Varane was amazing, and he played only 45 minutes, and he's somebody that I hope that he is fine. Because if you're subbed off at 45 minutes and you're not doing terrible, it means there's an injury there. And so I can only also just give him a B, because it was a solid 45 minutes. So I hope he's fine. I hope he's fine. Now with Aaron Wan-Bissaka was a shining star today. It was a B plus for me. I saw Wan-Bissaka in amazing performance. Amazing performance. I saw him like in an inverted position, wing back position, receiving the ball in tight spaces and making passes that were like incisive. How you spell incisive? Incisive, I think. Making incisive passes. That's what I want to summarize that with. Making incisive passes. So for me, he was a fullback that shined. So Wan-Bissaka for me, it's a B plus. And Casemiro is interesting because like he was so good in the first half, and then in the second half, a few loose passes, and then a little sloppy moments, but he's still big presence for the team. You could tell that the team is glued together, and we're having so many beautiful attacking sequences because Casemiro was there and he was given the stability that we needed. In many moments, Sevilla took control of that game, even after we scored. Matter of fact, around the 23rd, 22nd minute, Sevilla took control of that game, and they were first to every second ball. They were just more physical, more in sync, and you could tell that the momentum has shifted Sevilla's side, which is why this thing of eriktenhag, I can't wait to give you a great eriktenhag. But anyway, so let's go ahead and say Varane, solid 45 minutes, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, B+, and he had a very good performance. In my opinion, he's actually starting to become a little bit more of my favorite center back. He's starting to edge Dalot in my rankings. I don't know. Tell me about you. Is Aaron Wan-Bissaka the same as Dalot for you, or are you starting Dalot over Wan-Bissaka if you get a chance? Casemiro for me, we talked about his game and how it dwindled down, right? So that's why it's a B, not a B+. As a matter of fact, it's a B-, but most just give him a solid B. Sabitzer is for me the player that had the best game. A-. I'm gonna give him an A- because there was nothing wrong that he could have done. Took his great goals, also goals aside, off the ball movement, superb. Off the ball movement was superb today. Oh my goodness. Sabitzer is his influence and his presence in the team is starting to gel and become really, really, really felt. And I love it. For me, I say Marcel Sabitzer, you're keeping your parking spot, you're keeping your locker. Make sure you keep the position where you sit in the cafeteria, in the canteen. Make sure you let them know you will be here next year. Shout out to Marcel Sabitzer, man. He was the player of the match for me. Player of the match. Tell me who it was for you. I remember Kush in the stream earlier on. Kush went with David De Gea, but I'm gonna go with Marcel Sabitzer because he's just like growing, and he's already got the Ten Hag lessons already in him. A couple of weeks of Ten Hag education were already, you know what I'm saying? It's an extended preseason right now for Marcel Sabitzer, so it makes sense to keep him when we reach to the transfer window. So anyway, make sure you do your thing, by the way, and please drop a like. And while you let me know how you disagree with my rankings or you agree with my rankings, please feel free to comment and give in your grades as well. I'd love to know more than the grading. I'd like to know the assessment of the performance. That's really the more important part. But the grade helps sort of put some things into perspective and sort of like make a relative scaling of everybody's performance, because at the same time, I say that Aaron Wan-Bissaka's performance was really stellar, and it was almost as comparable as David De Gea. But there were performances, from my opinion, they're a little bit below Marcel Sabitzer's performance. Thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. By the way, let's go ahead with the grades. Let's go to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is a funny one because he got an unnecessary yellow card. I have no idea why. This game of football is so funny. You think you're two goals up, you're about to get the third goal, you hit the post, and next thing, Malacia own goal. Next thing, what happens? Maguire own goal. Next thing, Martinez is injured. Oh. And then to top it all off, Varane gets injured. Bruno is suspended for the second leg. Oh, man. At least Varane is a suspicion of an injury. I'm sure we'll know about that in due course. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Bruno and say he had an influence in in how we were playing in the first half. We was really good, but then ridiculous suspension. Great assist. Great assist for Sab. A great assist for Sabitzer. And I'm gonna just give Bruno, a B. A B. Bruno gets a B. It's just a solid B because he's suspended. Now Martial gets he got a spicy assist for Sabitzer. Oh my goodness, Martial is a baller. That was so nice how he stopped and everybody just went. All the Sevilla players, they went for a jog. They ran all the way back to Spain, and Martial saw the space and provided a nice assist for the Sabitzer, who was in running. So Martial, I might give him a solid B for that and just say, we need you more. We need more of that. Martial, please keep the goals coming. Keep the front line ticking, Antony gets a B minus because he was a little bit funny because his performance, he's quietly informed, if that makes sense. You score that goal, you're a hero. We're 3-0 up. Game is done and dusted. Sevilla know that they are now really in the mud. By the way, let me see what Liam said. Shout out to you. Liam said, okay, bro, I heard you say it was Malacia and Maguire. No, Malacia and Maguire. No. My worry is Martinez injury looks like Achilles tendon. That can be somewhere between 8 to 10 months, bro. He's not even going to be back after the season starts. And even when you get back to fitness, you jumping reach can be compromised permanently. Bear in mind, bro. Liam Jones, you're spitting facts right there. You definitely have a little bit of knowledge about like sports science, like how injury recoveries go. Because like if it's a 10-month injury, bro, this is horrible news. We need to prioritize signing a center back ASAP in the transfer window. Let me see the next comment. At 5'9", Martinez has to have a strong jump. Very worrying. Extremely worrying for real. Box says sickener of a game. That was horrible. That was a sickener. McTominay, Shaw, Rashford, Varane, Garnacho, Martinez all injured, and Fernandez suspended. Oh my goodness. That's worse, That's worse than the score. That's worse than a 2-2 score, Box, this is horrible nightmare news for Manchester United right now. Even our top 4 chase and our trophy chase in general. We are definitely in the mud now. Antony, all right, he gets a B minus. Box, I'll go to the next comment real quick after we talk about Antony. Antony gets that B minus because he kind of became a little bit quiet, and it's the small margins, small margins, Antony. He hit the post, He should have also provided that ball for Jadon Sancho quicker. Then it's an assist for Antony and a goal for Sancho. So, you know what I mean? It's a B minus C plus for Antony, in my opinion. Talking about C's, and Jadon Sancho, I got to give you a C plus. I'm sorry if Sancho's dad might come into the chat and explain why I shouldn't give you a C plus, but if he's not here while he's not here, I gotta hand you the C plus real quick. And we say he faded a lot in the second half. I saw a bright, dazzling Jadon Sancho in the first half. That was kind of a little bit of a hope in the performances. I see the confidence he's building on the confidence that he's had before. And I'm like, okay, keep going, Jadon. And then he just fades in the second half. But partially, I get it. It's part of his match fitness, and his stamina is not all the way up there yet. So, but he could have scored if Antony gave him a better pass. And, he also had a few moments where, he could have done better. So it's a C plus. eriktenhag. Now, eriktenhag, before I give eriktenhag a grade, let me catch up on the comments real quick. Box says, I read that one, by the way. Liam says, Aaron Wan-Bissaka looked like Prime Cedo for 10 seconds. Running through center midfield tonight. Liam, that is it. Bro, Aaron Wan-Bissaka was a different animal. He's evolving, He's becoming a different player, and we need to give. That's why I was just like, hold on. I might have a new favorite. I don't know if Liam. Let me know who you're rating. Are you Wan-Bissaka FC or are you Dalo FC? If you have to pick, if you have to pick one team right now, which team are you playing for? Let me know, Liam. And Box says Ten Hag subs was strange. Yes, thank you, Liam, for this comment because we're talking about Erik Ten Hag right now. Ten Hag subs was strange. Taking off Bruno when he already missed the second leg plus have a rest then was odd, really odd, really, really odd. And Ten Hag gets a little bit, his substitutions get a little bit of blame, and his game management also has to get a little bit of blame in here because it's the first time we see him take Erik Ten Hag. He's doing an open heart surgery during a game. He's having a transfer window during a game. He's supposed to be right now managing the players slow. You don't do a whole overhaul. When I said from the 23rd minute, after we were 2-0 up, we went into a low gear. Partially is because we slacked off, but the other reason is because Sevilla actually wanted to bring the game to us and fight back. And it didn't take a rocket scientist to see the momentum that, hold on, Man United is not having the momentum right now. And this is not the time for a full-on open heart surgery transfer window, Erik. First time, I'm going to give Erik Ten Hag a C. He gets a C. C. Obviously, I know you're working with scraps. You're working with DJ Khaled. Who's DJ Khaled? It's Elanga. I saw Elanga come on. I didn't see what Elanga did. I didn't even see him in one play. He's DJ Khaled. You ever had a moment where you have to explain DJ Khaled to someone? Or you're playing, you're like, I'm listening to a DJ Khaled album. They're like, okay, where is DJ Khaled in here? And then you're like, oh, he's the guy. You know what I'm saying? That's Elanga for you. He's like the guy that brought the vibes. He's here for the vibes. He's the guy with the Bluetooth speaker. That's Elanga. And Erik Ten Hag is taking out somebody. That's a spit in the face for whoever was taking it out for Elanga. I believe it must have been you, Jadon Sancho. So it's a little lesson for Jadon Sancho and a big lesson for Erik Ten Hag that you never, ever do a team overhaul when we are not having the momentum. Team overhaul during a moment of duress, right? A moment of pressure is not the way, Erik. That is not the way at all. I understand he's probably learned his lesson about the whole Marcus Rashford mismanagement because that's on him. I'm going to put that on him. That's Erik Ten Hag's, of course, Marcus Rashford is your only weapon, but you have sometimes to know how you manage your only weapon. And he definitely had to learn from that. And I think that's why he's like, all right, let's go try and preserve everybody's fitness or something, but he's definitely doing a meticulous job with the management of Anthony Martial. So I have to give him props where props is due and call it out where it's not due. But all right, last couple of comments. Buck says, bringing on bringing on DJ Khaled was what? What was that? What was he thinking? Erik Ten Hag. What was he cooking? Oh, man, Bucks says bringing on Elanga, who barely played in 2023, was odd. He looked very cold and raw and ineffective and MIA and non-existent. All right, Liam says, Bucks, yeah, that struck me very odd. Football power. Big up, Giza. I have a nice mug and a cup of tears with Mickey Mouse cup from Man United dropping 2-0. Yo, you get the banter today, my friend Chelsea Dan. You deserve it because we shot ourselves in the foot. Manchester United imploded when we were on the brink of a 3-0 cushion. I blame the coach for the changes, says Kakuru. Shout out to you, Kakuru. Oh, I appreciate your comment, Kakuru. Oh, I appreciate your rating too, Kakuru. Kakuru gives Aaron Wan-Bissaka an A-. I gave Aaron Wan-Bissaka a B+. And I just said all positive things. Let's see. I said amazing performances, inverted wingback position. Like that. That's the comment that Liam, I believe, said like Wan-Bissaka almost brought flashbacks of Clarence Seedorf. So honestly, in terms of what Aaron Wan-Bissaka could have done better, there's not much. It's a very, very harsh B+. But I'm looking at De Gea too. De Gea also gets a B plus. If I move Wan-Bissaka to an A minus, then it makes Sabitzer also be on the same level. So that's why I cannot, bump him up. But I see what you're saying, Kakuru. Nice argument though for Wan-Bissaka. Like that's a player that great that can definitely be reevaluated with even more specific examples and more like supporting that argument. On a positive, Martial, Eriksen, and Casemiro are back. Big upgrades for sure. Let me drink a little bit of water. On a positive, Martial, Eriksen, and Casemiro are back. Big upgrades of composure and quality on the pitch. I know that's a few little positive things to look back on, Box. You're right. But a lot more negative than positive, if you ask me. Kakuru, Antony selfish, would have gotten another goal. I know, Antony, square the ball, man. That's all you gotta do, Antony. But he's also trying to make sure that he stamps his authority because he's been getting a lot of slack, right? People are saying where the goals, where the assists, and he was like, let me go for goal. So I don't really fully blame him. So Liam says, mate, I think both are good, but on different games. Okay, Aaron Wan-Bissaka might be the best one-on-one fullback in Europe, but in general, lack of awareness when defending, crossed, and lack of output going forward. In general, but today we saw Aaron Wan-Bissaka cooking. So the lack of output going forward, rhetoric is eventually going to die down if Aaron Wan-Bissaka starts raking in the assists. And we saw some really good passes, key passes that could have led to effective phases of play. So Liam, yeah, I understand. You got to keep them both for that. They are both different weapons for different kind of games and different kind of tactics. So Dalot is generally a little bit more well-rounded. If he can sort out the defensive, then we got a well-rounded player right there. But you know what? There's other right backs, man. We shouldn't be just subject to be the typical Manchester United and sentimental and don't want to get rid of players. So shout out to Dalot, though. Let's give him a chance. We want to see the Dalot that we saw before the Qatar, because that Dalot has not come back ever since the injury. Last comment that I'm going to read is from Kakuru saying, eriktenhag deserves 2% out of 100. This was a win for Man United. Eriktenhag, that's a fail. 2 out of 100. It's a fail. It's a fail from Kakuru. Kakuru is saying, I'm flattering Eriktenhag with a C. That was even lower than an E. So what are your thoughts? Let me know your thoughts, because this is a very important game that unfortunately we threw away. We shot ourselves in the foot and imploded when we could have secured the bag. Everybody that commented and made today's show special, I appreciate you, Kakuru, so much, because I haven't seen you comment at all. If you have, pardon me, but warm welcome to you in this channel, and everybody else that's tuned in too. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. It's the Football Power Hour. You can call me botswanapapi, and Nottingham Forest, here we come. It was really, 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 really sad, because this game was a game that we could have really, really secured a nice pathway into the semi-final for Manchester United. But we go on, we fight, right? Let me look real quick to see what Ten Hag says. Ooh, Ten Hag says the Licha injury, it does not look great. Oh, that's Ten Hag's version of it's not looking good, bruv. Justin, Lisandro Martinez has an inflamed area, and that is why they are going to do studies later. But it is presumed that the injury is in the tendon. Not looking good. Ten Hag says there's a chance that Marcus Rashford is fit to face Sevilla next week. Oh, positive news! We will end the stream on that positive update. This is 26 minutes ago. Ten Hag just said this. So let us make sure that we pick our heads up and don't really, really fret too much, because I was crying. I was almost about to break down and have a rant at the beginning of this stream. But Ten Hag says, Erik, he says, hey, worry not, because who's going to be joining? Who's going to be joining our brother, Ice Cold Martial? You know who's going to be joining Ice Cold Martial? Oh, Rashbapi, Rashnana, Rashford. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for the comments. I appreciate your box. Box says, fingers crossed, Varane, McTominay, Shaw, and Rashford all back soon. Yo, man, you are talking facts, bro. I hope those are true statements that you're saying. Eriktenhag says Rashford is, yeah, we just said that. And Casemiro is playing with so much discipline, says Kakuru. You're right. He had a few sloppy passes, though, but he brings such a different balance to the team. Garnacho must be near fitness soon. Oh, good news. Thank you for watching this. See you soon.